Guys, this is Smithy. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is an extra special one. We're going to talk about the newest Glaminatrix palette, and that is Into the Night palette. Oh my god, if you guys know me, if you guys know this channel, if you guys been before, you know how much I was oohing and eyeing about this palette when this was sneak peeked. And then Glaminatrix reached out to me asking if I need to test out this palette. Do I need to? I immediately said yes because I definitely wanted to. Otherwise, I would have definitely purchased, you know that. So if you guys want to see two looks using this palette and the whole review and the first impressions, then please keep on watching. Okay, let's dive into the palette. This beautiful Glaminatrix Cosmetics Into the Night palette, it is going to release on April 29th, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And this palette has beautiful 12 shades, out of which there are 5 duochromes and 7 beautiful grungy mattes. It basically has like 3 formulas, I would say, because some of the shimmers are like extremely creamy and like very emollient. I'll do live swatches for you guys. And the others are definitely more on the textural side and like duochromy shifty goodness. Yeah, I cannot wait. Like this swatch so beautifully. Apart from the live swatches, I'll give all the swatches on the screen in the outside lighting too, so that you can see it. This palette would retail for $57 US. If you are in the Australia, because this is an Australian brand, this would retail for 85 Australian dollars. I would link everything in the description box below for you guys. I have a code with Glaminatrix. It's not affiliated by any means. It's just my name, Smithy, and you will get 15% off. So if you want to use my code, feel free to use that too. But before even diving into this palette, onto my eyes, let's move on to the live swatches. Let's first start off we'll go row by row because I feel like that makes more sense. The first shade in the palette is called Happy Hour, and this seems like a peachy orange with a pink shift. I don't know how much you can see. Can you see that? Very, very pretty shade. Especially for like inner corners or like topping off with any shade. I feel like this would be stunning. But this definitely doesn't have like a big base to it, but it shifts so nicely. Can you see that? Really, really pretty. Oh, lovely. Okay. Where's my towel so that I can wipe everything? Let's move on to the next shade. The next shade is called Neon Lights. As the name says, it is like a neon pink shade. Really, really nice to like amp up any look. I would say like even with that toppery shade that we just swatched, it'll be like these two together would be amazing. So there you go. That's the second shade, Neon Lights. Now the next shade in the palette is called After Dark, and this is like a liquid metal. Like this is like a gunmetal silver shade. Oh my god, it just swatches. My eyes can get blinded. Like look at that. It's not like a regular silver or a gunmetal. It definitely has like a greenness to it. It's so very pretty. Okay, let me show you this one. Oh my god, look at that. So pretty. Look at that. How beautiful. Oh my god, I can just stare at that shade all day long. That's how beautiful that shade is. Okay, the next shade in the palette is called Showbiz. When I saw like the pictures on the screen, it seemed like a greenish black shade. It definitely is unique to my collection, and these mattes are so creamy, like so creamy. Oh my god. Oh god, look at that. I definitely do not have this kind of a shade in my collection. Like, oh, so yummy, so yummy. Love it. Absolutely stunning is the word. I love that they went with like such a unique color story. The next shade in the palette is called Bustling, and this is like a blue purple, but also with a lot of like pink shimmer. It's a very shimmery shade. Let me show you. Let me swatch it for you guys. I love that they went with like a grungy color story, but threw in a little bit of neons to make it like their own version of it. I love it. Look at that. Really, really pretty. And that was the shade called Bustling. Now the next shade in the palette, I feel like is what burgundy dreams are made of, and this is called Chaser. Oh my god, if you know me, you know how much I'm into like these like burgundy shades, and I love it. This is the last shade in the first row. Oh, look how smooth that is. That and that purple together by itself, or that with that silver. Oh my god, stunning it is. And that's the first row swatched for you guys. Love it. Really, really pretty. Really pretty. You can definitely go like with two shadow look with this palette. As you can see, like these two will go together. These two will go together. These two will go together. So this palette is laid down in such a way so that it's like easy for you to create looks too. But obviously you can like mismatch, like jump into the palette here and there and create your own shades. Yeah, I'm in love. Okay, let's move on to the next row. The first shade is called Moonlit, and this is like a neon yellow green shade, like a lime green, electric yellow shade. Love it. So let's watch that. Look how pigmented that is. It seems like Glaminatrix mentioned, I think, that these glow in the dark. I'm not sure about it. I have to see. But look how electric that shade is. So bright. Like that in the inner corners, can you imagine how pretty that is going to be? Really, really beautiful. Let's move on to the next shade. This is called Top Shelf. Very, very similar like formula to this After Dark shade, which is like a very smooth liquid metal kind of a shade, but obviously in like a fuchsia shade. Really, really pretty. Oh my god. So pretty. Look at that. Stunning. Quality is where this palette is, like so amazing, so amazing. The next shade in the palette is called Play Hard, which is like a taupe shade, and obviously this is like the crease shade of this palette. I really, really love that they included this shade, so that with this shade, like if you pair up any deep grungy mattes, you can make it like a neutral color story. And I love that aspect, that the palette can go more neutral as well as colorful. You definitely cannot see that on my skin tone. It's just like very, very similar to my skin tone, just a little taupey. Very smooth shade. The next shade, On the Rocks. Do I call it a duochrome? Because I feel like there's a lot more to it. Like, oh my god, I definitely see green. I don't even know. I see a green and a gold for sure, but I also see like pink sparkles to it. I don't even know. Let me swatch it for you guys. Because I definitely could see the pink shift when I was outside, and I definitely want to play with that shade too. Look how pretty that is. You definitely can see that duochrominess coming through too. Love it, love it. Okay, let's move on to the next shade. The next shade, Cocktails, again, a very, very unique shade to my collection, I would say. Like I have so many shadows, and it's very hard for me to get to a palette that is unique. And this definitely, this shade is definitely unique to me. This is called Cocktails. A very sagey, dirty green kind of a shade. There you go. That's the shade Cocktails. Really beautiful, especially if you want to like blend it out with that green shade. That'll be lovely. To blend it out with the next shade that's going to come. That's going to be stunning. And the last shade of the palette is called Nightlife. And this is a deep navy blue shade. Such a pigmented shade. Like I love these shades. Like when they sneak peek the palette and they did not like sneak peek the shades, the first two shades that I guessed was navy blue and a gunmetal silver shade. And they told me that you might have like both of those shades in the palette, and we do have. Like we have a navy blue and a gunmetal shade. So pretty. I love it. Love, love, love. When I see or like think about like night and the stars in the sky, I see like navy blue, the shimmering moon, like the moon falling on like waters. That's what like comes into my mind. And the palette box itself, it's so classy. Like it's called Into the Night, and obviously that's the name, and the name just screams those colors to me. I really, really love that. Okay, so now once you've seen all the live swatches, let me pop a few swatches on the screen for you guys so that you can see everything in the outside lighting too, how it performs, how dimensional it is, how shifty it is, how beautiful each and every shade that you see is, and what you get. Now, once you've seen all the swatches, let's move on to the eye looks using this palette. I have no idea what to do, but I want to create so much. So that's the story of my life. Okay, let's move on. I have a feeling like the people who get this palette are gonna first dive into the neons. So I wanna do something else. So let's start off with this shade, which is Play Hard. And this is like a taupey shade in the palette. I feel like me being me, I would definitely use this shade. So I'm gonna start off with this shade in my crease. And that would be like a beautiful transitioning shade for me. Like very, very similar to my skin tone, I would say, just a little dark. Next, let's move into the shade called Cocktails. And this is like a, you know, that dirty, murky green shade. So let's do that. Again, I'm going to start off in the inner corners, the outer corners, and then pop it into my crease. Just a little more lower than the taupey shade. Look how unique that shade is. I definitely do not have this kind of a shade. I'm also going to pop this shade on my lower lash line. Like how easy is it? Like a few taps on the eyes and you get a blended look. That's amazing. And I've just used like one brush so far. Just like that. Now I'm going to take a little fluffy brush and I'm going to go into this shade, which is Nightlife. This is refer number 13. And I'm going to place that in the outer corners. And then a few circular motion in the outer and the inner corners. And I'm going to blend it with that green shade because I feel like that green and blue would pop really nicely. Also going to sweep it in the inner corners, little by little, just because I need that gradient coming through. Look how stunning that is, like mixed with that green. Looks beautiful. Don't worry about the center because obviously I'm going to put a shimmer there. Oh, lovely. I'm going to just dip back into that Cocktails shade, the green, and then just blend out the edges. So pretty. Okay, I'm going to take a pencil brush with this Nightlife shade. This is refer number 26. And then just blend it down on the lower lash line just to mesh everything together. So pretty. Love it. Okay, what are we gonna do? I definitely want to do this. Let's start off with this and then see where we go. I'm just gonna pop a little bit of NYX glitter glue right in the center of my eyes. Not eyes, eyelid. Just right there. Just for a little tack. Okay, so for the center of my eyelid, let's move on to the shade On the Rocks because that looks so yummy. Okay, I'm gonna take that right there and then sweep it right across the center of my eyelid. Oh yeah, I can definitely see that green and that pink. I'm just gonna fade it into that navy and that green. Just like that. So pretty. I'm gonna just go back into that navy blue shade, Nightlife, and then just pat it around the edges, just so that there is no harsh lines, just like that. I don't want to lose that navy by any means. And then for the inner corners, I feel like I'm going to dip into this shade, which is After Dark. Obviously, it's super metallic. I want to actually limit my brush to a smaller brush, just so that I don't have a lot. But oh my god, look at that bling. I'm just gonna put that in the inner corners. That itself just like packed up in the center of the eyelid would like just pop like crazy. That would be like a glam, like glam look. Like, oh my god, I can just imagine how stunning that's gonna be. Actually, let's just do it right in the center, like for a spotlight, just like that. Oh my god, stunning, stunning. Okay, I'm gonna finish off this eye with some liner and mascara and I'll get right back. So that's how the first eye has turned out. Let me give you a close-up. I finished off my eyes with like a blue liner on the waterline. I actually just used my Hot Mess Rockins Cosmetics blue eye pen just on the waterline, and that's what I did. For my, I didn't even like apply like a false lash or anything. I just applied my Anastasia's mascara, and that's what we have on the eyes, and I'm in love. Like this, I totally can rock this look like every day, I would say. Like I really love to make colors more wearable, and that's like I feel like I can rock colors in that way, rather than just doing like all over. I can rock a blue smoky eye too, but this is like more like glam and sexy for me. Really love that. Okay, what are we gonna do on the other side? Okay, definitely want to play with that burgundy for sure. I'm gonna start off with that burgundy and see where we land. So I'm gonna take refer number 1 with that shade called Chaser. Oh, so pretty. Okay, I'm gonna start off right there. Look how pretty it is. Oh my god, I die for these kind of burgundy shades. I'm gonna apply that in my outer corners and just blending it right on the edges, just like that. And then we can tap on more for intensifying. I'm gonna take a little bit more on the lower lash line too, just right there. You know, I love that I went just with like one shade, but I can definitely make it work like a crease shade as well as like a deepening shade. I love that. Love, love, love that one. So pretty, it is so pretty. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually dip into this shade Showbiz, and I'm gonna pack it right on top of this burgundy and the extreme outer corners, just to see if it can intensify it even more or not. And it totally can. Can you see that? Oh, love it. Oh my god. Yeah, I love when shades can do that. See, now it just looks like it's like a deep, sexy burgundy with like a dark black on the outer corners. It's, oh my god, I'm so happy that this palette like exists. Seriously, so pretty. Okay, I'm just gonna dip into that burgundy because I don't want to lose that burgundy. Just like that. I'm gonna take a clean fluffy brush and just go over the edges. Just circular motion just to buff it out. Oh, so pretty, so pretty. Okay, I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to put some NYX glitter glue. I'm going to start off with this shade, which is Top Shelf. It's like such a smooth burgundy shade. Oh, look at that. Oh my God, that's stunning. That is just stunning. And then I'm just gonna take the same brush and I'm gonna dip into Bustling shade, which is that blue purple. And I'm gonna just pat it right there. I'm just gonna fade it into that pink shade. Not like a cut crease, but just meshing it through. Definitely if I pack it on with my fingers, it's gonna be more like shimmer and sparkle and shine. Because it's an inner corner, I'm just gonna pat it on with the brush. Going back and forth into that burgundy shade, that blue purple shade, so that we have like a good mix. Oh, I love it, love it, love it. Okay. For the inner corners, I'm gonna dip into this shade, which is Happy Hour. This one, this duochrome shade. Just gonna take a little bit. I'm gonna place that right there. Perfect. Ah, so pretty. I'm gonna take that pencil brush that we used, and then I'm gonna dip into this Chaser shade, which is that burgundy, and then just intensify it a little more on the outer corner, on the lower lash line. Just like that. I'm gonna finish off this eye with some liner and mascara, and I'll get right back. And this is my second eye look. I love the way both the eye looks turned out. I cannot even tell you which is my favorite actually. So let me tell you how many shades did I use. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Not bad. Not bad. Actually, I used 10 shades out of the 12 shades. So basically, I used all the shades except those neon shades. I definitely have to play with this even more because I'm in love how these looks turned out. I really, really love it. Okay, Glaminatrix, we see you, and I'm so excited for this. I really had no issues, no problems with while playing with this palette. I felt like all the shades like blended very, very easily. Even those like deeper grungy mattes, which are very difficult to like blend into each other, but they all had their purpose. And I feel like if you look into this palette, you definitely can create like 2 look shadows everywhere. So that itself makes it like 6 eyeshadow look itself, and then you can like pop like 1 matte shade in the outer corners, like a 1 deeper matte shade in the outer corners, blend it into crease and use any shimmer, and that will go with each other. Like, this is such a well thought out palette with such a unique twist to it. I am in love. I cannot wait to play with this even more. Like, I'm in love. So that's all for today, guys. I really, really hope that this video was helpful for you guys and you could get like an idea if you are thinking of buying this palette. What looks you can create, make it more wearable, make it your own. I cannot wait to dive into this even more. I will definitely do another get ready with me using that palette for sure. But yes, that's all for today. If you did like it, you know what to do. Do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell so that you're notified every time that I post next. I generally upload 3 videos every single week, every Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays at 9 AM Eastern Standard Time. Until next time, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.